Today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite real estate tools that I use to help buyers figure out if where they're looking is really where they want to live. So if you guys like the content, hit the like. If you hate it, hit the hate. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Okay, so I work with a lot of buyers that are moving to a state they've never been to, or maybe they've been once, or they're moving to a different area of the country. We see a lot of that. We're seeing huge migrations. You know, sometimes it's people retiring. Sometimes it's people who work from home and want a different lifestyle or a lower cost of living. So it can be really hard to buy a house somewhere you've never been. And it can be hard to understand the market as well. And you're 100% trusting a real estate agent that you've never met. And that can be very scary. So I've done videos on how to pick a good real estate agent. That is critical. I can't stress that enough. But I'm just going to talk to you about a couple tools that I use with buyers just when we're like on the phone chitty-chatting, is that a word, about the houses that I have found to be incredibly helpful. Number one, Zillow. I know, everybody hates Zillow that's like a real estate agent. I love Zillow. If you guys are on realtor.com, I don't get it. It's not as good. Zillow has this amazing feature called price and tax history. Price and tax history will tell you everything you ever needed to know. My favorite game right now is if they tried to sell it in 2020 or 2021 and didn't, what was the price? Right? Because if they were trying to sell it for $500 in 2021 and they're trying to sell it for $500 now, they are never getting $500. I can tell you that definitively. Okay? That's really fun. Also, you can see if it's a flip. So Florida comes to mind on that, especially the Tampa area. Oh my God, the amount of flippers and bad flippers at that. But you'll see a house where they bought it, 6 months ago for $300,000. Now it's $600,000. Okay, and you're like, well, wait a second, what can I do? Like, shouldn't my real estate agent be telling me this? Real estate agents don't necessarily look at prices and money the way that you or I may look at it, right? They look at it as, oh yeah, it's nice, it's $600K, do you want to pay $600K? And you're like, well, wait a second, like they didn't even do any work on it between $300 and $600. So when you guys have the price and tax history, you can see what's reasonable and other red flags to look out for. So what's a red flag that would spook me on a price and tax history that would really make me dig? Couple. The first one would be if the house was listed in listed in contract. That is not a good sign. And a lot of times people go, oh, well, I'm sure the buyer just fell out. Maybe once, but 3 times? Come on, something's wrong with that house. What's wrong with that house? Just tell me what's wrong. And maybe it's the one house out of 25 billion where 3 buyers, like the listing agent just has the worst choice in buyers ever, and they all fell apart. But more often than not, it comes out like it has a foundation crack or something. It's not normal for a house to fall out of contract that many times. It's highly unusual. Okay, so that'd be a red flag where I would be asking my agent. I'd say, hey, this looks like it's been in and out of contract. Can you see if there's been any inspections done? Like, what is the deal? Get the deal from the listing agent. I don't want to screw with this without understanding why these fell out. And they may still lie to you. So of course, definitely get inspections, but have an eagle eye open on something like that. Another red flag for me would be if let's say they bought it in 2021 let's say they bought it this year. Let's say they bought it in June for $250 and they're selling it now for $200. Okay. Either they have to move and they need to get out of that house quick. Something dramatic's happened or something is really wrong with that house. So in 2020 and 2021 especially, we saw so many buyers, not mine. I want to say that right now. My buyers did not do this. My buyers didn't do this. Waiving contingencies, waiving loan, waiving everything. Wall Street Journal did a huge multi-page on this, as did Business Insider, about people who waived all their contingencies and then realized they had bought a money pit. There was a girl in LA where the whole house had black mold in it. She had bought it without ever seeing it, no contingencies, paid cash, mold house. She had to sell it at a huge loss. Of course she did. It's a mold house, right? So whenever you see someone selling it for less than what they just bought it for, or a year later for less than what they bought it for, always have that flag up for, hey, what is wrong with this house? Okay? And look, life happens. Maybe they have to relocate. Maybe they got divorced. Maybe they lost their job and they have to sell. Okay, but sometimes it's because they got into a bad situation. And sometimes we'll see that with houses that look really good is there's good flips and bad flips. A good flip means someone buys a house, they do great work to it, the house is in better condition. Great, that's a good flip. A bad flip is the house has issues, they cover it with paint, glue, tape, and paint. Okay? Sometimes people buy bad flips, and once they live there for a couple months, they realize what they're into and they try to get out. You don't want to be the person blindly walking into it. Okay, so I love Zillow for that. I love the price and tax history. The databases the real estate agents set you up with, they're not designed to do that. Those databases are designed to stalk your activity. It's that simple. Like, I don't know, someone's gonna be mad at me for saying that, but it's true. They can see every time you look at a house, they can see how long you look at it. Like, most real estate agents have that technology. And look, it feels stalkery and creepy, but at the same point, it does help them be better at their job because it can action them to call you to see if you'd like to see that house or if you have additional questions, right? Otherwise, they'd just be annoying you every day. So it's good for that. Okay, second tool I am obsessed with, Google Earth. Wow, the stuff we've seen on Google Earth, man. Oh my goodness. Google Earth, seriously, go on it, play with it, enjoy it. So, the key about Google Earth is a lot of times Zillow makes everything look beautiful. The listing photo, it doesn't matter if it was Zillow, Realtor.com, you name it, they look beautiful, right? It's like Tinder, it's catfishing most of the time. But what Zillow doesn't show you is there a freeway on the other side of the house? Is there a power plant? Is there a nuclear dump site? Is there a Air Force base right here? Actually, that'd be okay. Is there a airport, right? Is there an airport right here? Is that the, trash dumpster recycling next door? Okay. Now, I recently used this for my own reasons. I saw this house and I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's on the beach and the price is so amazing. I think I can do this, right? My husband, joy killer that he is, but also he knows this would happen anyways. He goes to Google Earth. He's like, yeah, cool. Do you want to buy that house and then go put your feet in the wastewater? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they recycle the wastewater and it all dumps out right there. Okay, and look, I know there's like some hardcore environmentalists that's like, it's safe. I'm not comfortable, guys. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't really want to be right next door to the wastewater recycle center. I don't know if you guys have ever been to one. I went to one when my son was small. It smelled, and it had there was stuff that I didn't need to see there. That was one of the field trips. It's an interesting field trip. But yeah, that's why the house was inexpensive. It was by a wastewater treatment facility, and the ocean view I would be looking at would be the pipe of it all going back into the water. Okay, right? Thank you, Google Earth. We had another property that I saw in Oregon. Once again, oh my God, I think I could get this beach house. Oh my God, we could do it. Once again, another wastewater treatment plant. And look, all that data really tells you is that if you buy a beach house next to a wastewater treatment plant, your house is going to be worth a lot less than the house is a mile away. So good thing to reference there. Now, I've also had clients where I'm like, hey, let's just go to Google Earth for fun. And we go to Google Earth and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, are you down with the freeway in your backyard? And they're like, what? I'm like, go to it. And they're like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm like, yeah. There's a freeway. So Google Earth can be great at showing you what your immediate surroundings are. And sometimes it's just a great way to reassure yourself. You may look at it and be like, oh, this looks great. Or you may look at it and be like, oh my goodness, this is dramatic and horrible. So it's a free tool. It's a great way to get that bird's eye view of what's going on around you. And in certain areas, the detail you can get to is next level. So two of my favorite tools, Zillow and Google Earth, they're both free. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. As always, I do mortgages in 48 states, everywhere but Utah and Rhode Island. So if you need a mortgage, call me. Okay, thanks for watching.